Hello everyone and welcome to Valiant Tech World. Today we're gonna talk about artificial intelligence and we will mainly focus the attention on machine learning. Artificial intelligence is a huge field which includes all the theories like mathematical formulas but also philosophical and ethical views related to the creation of intelligence which is different from the biological one. And this field also covers the methodologies and all the algorithms which are practically used to create smart machines. The main objective of artificial intelligence is to solve problems that require some sort of intelligence. Now, intelligence does not have a specific definition, but it has many aspects such as logic, critical thinking, problem solving, but also creativity, and they are all different from each other. Broadly speaking, from a qualitative point of view, the main goal is to mimic human mind, which is essentially a simulation of a brain inside a computer. Artificial intelligence can be divided in weak AI and strong AI. Weak AI is what we currently have, an artificial intelligence which is able to perform specific tasks, such as playing a board game or translating some text, or recognizing a face. These are all examples of AIs which focus on a specific domain and typically cannot do anything else outside their main domain. On the other hand, strong AI is an hypothetical stage where the machine can reach artificial general intelligence. This essentially means that the machine can think like a human. And if this stage is reached, then there are speculations that the AI can reach what is called a singularity, where the machine complexity will grow exponentially and beyond human comprehension. One of the subfields of artificial intelligence is called machine learning, and as the name suggests, the main goal is to create methodologies and algorithms that allow the machines to learn. This is different from the typical way in which computer programs are created. Typically, a program that needs to solve a specific problem is explicitly coded with all the steps required to solve that specific problem. On the other hand, in machine learning, the methodology learns from the data that they receive and try to use them for the specific task that they need to address, instead of being specifically coded for it. There are three main subcategories of machine learning, which are supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning, and they have methodologies used to solve different types of problems. Talking about supervised learning, the user needs to provide some input data, but also the desired output associated to the input data. These are called labeled data. In the example, you can see in the background that the input data are different solids with their associated names, which is the output. Given enough data, the computer is able to learn the main characteristics of a cube and a sphere. So, once it is presented with new data not seen before, still manages to label them correctly. The computer has learned the relationship between the input and the output. Two different problems that are solved with supervised learning techniques are regression and classification problems. In the case of regression, the main goal is to typically predict continuous quantities and to find the function that is better able to represent the data. In the example, you can see the orange points, and the green function is a good fit for the data. Now, it is clear that many types of functions can be created, and one of the tasks is also to understand when to stop and what function can be considered good enough to make prediction using unseen data. In a classification problem, similarly to the one previously shown with the cubes and the spheres, there is a discrete number of classes, and the main objective is to divide these classes with some bounds, so that the method is able to associate an input to a specific class. In the example, you can see that the bound divides the space into two parts, and each part is associated to a specific class. It is worth mentioning that these methods are also used in case of more than two classes. The second subcategory is unsupervised learning, Here the data are unlabeled because the output is not known and only the input is provided. The user does not exactly know what to expect from the data, but would like to use a method that is able to find some patterns or relationship within the data. In the example, you can see that in the background different solids are provided, and then the computer is able to divide them into 3 different groups based on their shape. 2 problems that are solved with unsupervised learning methodologies are clustering and dimensionality reduction. In a clustering problem, the main goal is to group input data which have similar properties. In the example, there are some data which share similar properties, so they are close to each other, and the algorithm groups them together. This problem is the same previously shown with the solids, where the computer was able to find patterns in the data, which then were used to split them into different groups. Instead, in a dimensionality reduction problem, the main objective is to reduce the initial dimension of the data. The idea is that some of the information is redundant or not particularly important, and by removing this information it is still possible to keep the essence of the data. It is typically important to find a trade-off in order to avoid excessive loss of information, but also have less dimensions, which might help the convergence of the algorithms and also the overall training speed. In the example, the 2-dimensional data can be reduced into a single dimension because the 2 variables are strongly correlated. The last of the subcategories is reinforcement learning. This is quite different from the other 2. Here it is introduced the concept of agent, which is essentially an entity like a program that makes decisions. By doing so, it is interacting with an environment which is a place where the agent can make decisions and see the results from these decisions. The actions lead to rewards which can be positive or negative, and the agent needs to learn by keep trying, making decisions and actions in the environment. This is a trial and error approach where the learning is based on the rewards provided by the environment. It seems quite theoretical, but in practice, let's imagine a robot in a maze. The objective is to escape the maze and reach the green tile. The robot keeps trying to perform some actions in the environment, which is the maze in this case. In some cases go left, other cases right, and so on. If the robot hits the wall, it receives a negative reward, and if goes over the red tiles, which are traps, the rewards are very negative. This is repeated many times so that the robot can get feedback from all the actions made in the environment, and after several attempts, it will be able to reach the exit without touching any red tile or bumping into the walls of the maze. This concludes the overview of artificial intelligence and machine learning. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching.